base level competency as a man. Learn how to fight, bro. Now, I'm not telling you to go and be a world champion, but you need to know how to protect yourself. Or you need to know, you need to at least be assertive in certain situations and understand that if things do go in a certain direction, you have the ability to protect yourself. Light show. Bing, 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 bing. You know, I'm hitting the point. Now, seriously, you don't have to be a world champion. You don't have to be a professional boxer, but just learn the base level of competency because everything on this channel is about being multifaceted and a well-rounded individual. We talk about the gym, we talk about finance, we talk about spirituality, we talk about interpersonal relationships. We're not just trying to be one dimensional. The light show. When I start hitting points, the lights start changing by themselves. I tell you that for free. Learn how to fight. Get in the gym. Get outside of your comfort zone. Now, contrary to popular belief, you think that going to a fight gym is some big, scary, bad place, but the people in there are the most friendly. And this is part of this is part of their character that you want to absorb into yourself. The calmness and the friendliness comes from their level of competency. They have nothing to prove. If you go into a boxing gym, people understand the process. They understand there are no shortcuts. They understand very well that there are levels to things. They understand hierarchy. They understand respect. This is a place that is unlike anywhere else. Super polite. That's the one place where everyone's going to hold the door open for you. That's the one place where everyone's actually going to check if you're okay. Now, it doesn't mean, diminishing certain levels of masculinity and, sort of bending and what's the word? Acquiescing and capitulating to your needs. No, no, they're not gonna care. It's not like that. But it's a friendly place. So if one of the barriers to entry is that you think that you're gonna go there and it's gonna be super scary and super negative, understand is the complete opposite. And that's part of the reason you want to go there. That level of competency carries into your whole life and how you carry yourself. So when you have a basic understanding of how to fight, you're naturally going to want to diffuse situations a lot more. Because when you're sparring multiple times a week and you understand how it goes and you've had bouts and you've been carded, you're not going to want to put yourself into dangerous situations because you understand the consequences of violence. That is the characteristic that you want to have. You don't want to just start learning to fight so you can fight people. You're going to fight less because you understand what comes with it. You understand the consequences. You're going to want to diffuse situations. You're actually going to be a more balanced individual. And you're going to be a lot calmer because you have that release. You have that ability to let the aggression out. And you know that there's always someone better. You know, there's always someone that can keep you in check, whether that be an opponent, whether you're humbled in your first time in the ring, getting your nose broken, or whether that be your coach that puts you through the paces. You think you got a certain level of fitness. You have no idea until you get into that boxing gym. You have no idea until you get into the den of wolves. You have no idea of what being tired is until you think is the end of the round and your opponent, not your opponent, your coach puts another opponent in the ring for you to spar with. Carry on staying. You think you have nothing left. That level of fortitude, what do you think that's going to build within you? Now, that's the problem. If you're not putting yourself in these situations, you're trying to escape that. Get in the gym. You want to get in the gym. You want to get in the fighting gym because we want to be well-rounded individuals. Don't leave this to luck. And the great thing, the fortunate thing about this is most people are not going to do it. So if you're one of those ones and you've happened to come across this video and you've made it this far, you already know what to do. Open another tab or even just pause the video, find the closest gym to you and run there tomorrow morning. Sign up. It's not going to cost you a lot of money, a menial investment. Think about how much you spend on drinks, how much you spend on weed, how much you spend on games, how much you spend on those dates. Go and spend that on something and reinvest it into yourself. And that's something that someone cannot take away. Like, if you're not engaging in sports, maybe you're not playing football, you're not playing basketball, you're not playing it, you're not doing any of these things. This is a worthwhile hobby because while you're learning and getting these skills, it's something that's going to stay with you forever. And that level of confidence you have, knowing that you can protect yourself and knowing that you can endure difficult situations and you can go through that self-inflicted learning curve, you are going to be on a different level to anyone else. And I think deep down you know this, but you just need that little nudge. Like I said, the only excuse could be that you're a little bit scared. Now, that's been eliminated because we mentioned that going into a fighting gym is actually one of the nicest places. It is a bit rough in terms of, they're not it's not like going to a spa, is a boxing gym. But the actual people and the way they'll treat you and the coaches, because everyone's gone through that process and that rite of passage, they're gonna be more understanding of you and they're just gonna want to help you. Because that's the thing, you're continuously learning in that sort of environment. There's no sense of entitlement. You'll realize it. The people who cannot fight on a night out, they're the first to want to fight. Think about it. If you have any friends that, they do jujitsu, they do martial arts, they are the nicest and the calmest people, and they're going to want to take every step and every precaution to not lead to violence because they understand the consequences of it. How I see it myself, okay? In a situation, like, I've been in many situations, nights out, things get cracking, this XYZ. And I'm not a bully and I don't like to pick and choose. So how it goes in my head is there's pretty much only two options. Or this is how it has, like, either I'm gonna completely batter someone or someone's gonna batter me. There's rarely times where it's in between. You have a good little straightener if it's in an environment that's not controlled. Because outside of the boxing gym, there's chairs, there's this, there's glass, there's knives. It makes you review, it makes you analyze the situation different because unless you're a bully and you're like, if you're thinking rationally, you're not going to want to put yourself in a situation where you're battering someone or you're getting battered because what's the point? That's why, these controlled environments are good because you get someone that's your weight. You know what I mean? They're usually going to be your height. They're usually going to be your level of ability because they're going to check the amount of bouts they've had. So, as I mentioned, the people that are most competent, they're going to be the most relaxed. The reason why, they know the consequences and they don't pick and choose. Often it's the bullies that want to fight and they want to give it the big one. Yeah, because they think that they're going to annihilate you. There's a false sense of belief. Because if they come against the wrong person, they're going to learn the hard way. But trust me, young men, get in the gym, get in the fighting gyms, push yourself. You don't have to be a world champion. That could be a byproduct of you taking that first step. But you have to take the first step. Get outside of your comfort zone. It's not that complicated. You want the accolades, but you don't want to do the work. You want to be able to tell people you can fight. You want to be able to post those clips of you on the bag, you sparring. But the first step is usually the hardest. It's kind of like the concept of pushing something up a hill. Pushing a bike up a hill versus pushing down. When a bike is going down the hill, you don't even really need to pedal. The momentum is already taking you there. First step, just go to a technique class, get familiar, and don't listen. Don't take the shortcut of going to a gym and not having that accountability of anyone else around you. Not go, don't just sign up to the gym and then go there when it's like open and no one's there so you can kind of hide. You need that level of accountability in regards to your technique, understanding. You need to understand the biomechanics behind why you throw a punch, the weight distribution, you know. Like don't just go there and just and sign up for a gym and then go in and punch the bag just to say you've done it. But yeah, man, get in the gym for yourself. I don't gain anything from it. I mean, exactly. If I was a bully and I didn't pick and choose, then it would be like, "Oh, I'll tell you not to go to the fighting gym." I'd rather there be people out there that are not threats, that I know I can easily neutralize in a dangerous environment. But in an effort to build a community of better men, better people, competency is key. Competency and being multifaceted. It's all good having the money, or it's all good having this, or it's all good being, super jacked in the gym. But if you don't know how to throw a punch, that's embarrassing. That's how you should see it. It's just embarrassing. Again, you don't have to be a world champion. I feel like sometimes, I repeat certain points, but it's just because I need to reiterate the importance. So you don't need to become the world champion. Just start with something, even if it's once a week. Slow progress is better than no progress. So just do it. Let's go.